Hi friends, welcome to my presentation. Let me introduce myself. I am A. Maheshwari Sfero, studying first year intermediate MPC at COE Warangal. Friends, today in this session we are going to learn an interesting topic in English. Friends, really we have sweet dream has to do how we are going to excel that ladder of success. Of course, in our education field or in our life, but somewhere or other we get stuck, particularly when it comes to what? When it comes to communication skills. No, wait friends, effective communication skills such as basic things, greeting teachers in schools and colleges and asking questions, answering to those questions and writing letters. These are the basic things in communication. And firstly, we are human beings. We are capable of listening and processing the information and thinking about it, whether we should respond or react at that particular situation. Friends, I think you got an idea what I am going to present you now. So in this session, we are going to learn about communication skills. Today, my topic is communication skills. We probably hear people always talking about communications. Everyone needs it, wants it. But what is exactly communication? Let us try to understand about communication. Before going to my topic, let us tell you my objectives, what I am going to tell you in my presentation. Let us take a glance of objectives. So in this session, we will learn about what is communication, process of communication, why do we communicate, types of communication, barriers to effective communication, why listening is important, difference between hearing and listening, effective listening, techniques of effective listening, benefits of effective listening. These are to be going to discuss in this session. Let me start with what is communication. Communication is a process of sharing information to each other, or communication is a process of exchanging ideas, thoughts or feelings to each other. It's said to be communication. The word communication derived from Latin word communicare. Communicare means to share. So it is all about communication. Knowing good communication is not knowing the English language. English is a language, communication is a skill. First, communicate in your mother tongue, making eye contact, body language, gestures, postures, voice tonality and being proactive, these sort of things. Nobody is born a good communicator. We should work for it. Let us discuss about process of communication. How the process of communication is going to be happen. So in this process, communication is a two-way process, not a one-way process. So in communication process, there are two persons. One is sender and receiver. When sender send message to the receiver, then he or she will send the message through a medium by encoding that message. So when it reaches to the receiver, he or she will decode it, and after interpreting that message, and they will send feedback to the again sender. Then the receiver form his message in the form of encode. When it passes through a channel, it reaches to the sender, and he or she will decode it and understand that message. This is the process of communication, and this is a two-way process, not a one-way process. If sender is trying to convey the message, it fails, the communication totally fails. When the receiver did not send feedback to the sender, so it is also said to be a failure communication. Now let us discuss about why do we communicate. What is the need of communication? To establish social relationship, exchange ideas, resolve conflicts, maintain professional relationship, gather information, build coordination, share feelings, experience, thoughts, guide to someone, or take suggestion from someone. These are the sort of things why do we communicate. And now let us discuss types of communication. There are two types of communication. One is verbal communication and non-verbal communication. Verbal communication means verbal communication is a process of sharing information using words. Most of the people use verbal communication is a method of communication, and verbal communication is very easy. We can say what we want and we can get quick reply from the receiver, and it is an easier form of communication. When you communicate a person, you can see the listener. Verbal communication is said to be face-to-face conversation, where you can see the listener and you can deliver your words freely. Example, group discussions and public meetings and talking to a family member at home, and classroom teaching and business meeting and public speeches are other examples of oral communication where one person talks to many persons at once. So this is all about verbal communication. Next, coming to the non-verbal communication. What do you mean by non-verbal communication? Non-verbal communication is a process where we send the message to the receiver without using words. We use signals, movement through facial expression, postures, gestures, etc. And in our day-to-day communication, it is observed that non-verbal communication is more used in the communication process by using facial expression, body postures and gestures. And knowing non-verbal communication is very well, because you can understand the viewer's feelings and attention. You can grab their attention, and you can mod your feelings according to the receiver. And if you are perfect at non-verbal communication, you can know where you use the gestures and postures. Your message makes you more effective. So then you said to be a good communicator. For example, let me tell you some of the body posture, gestures, facial expression. For example, you're keeping finger on your lips. It indicates to need silence. If you nod head like this, it indicates you're agreeing something. For example, if you're saying like this, it indicates you're not agreeing to someone. For example, if you're showing thumb like this, it indicates all the best or well done. For example, if anyone want to tell you something, so then they want to tell you like this. So what you understand? They say hi to you. For example, they say like this, you understand that they're saying bye. So these are some of the examples of body gestures and posture. For example, facial expression. For example, you're looking down, so it indicates you're upset or you're not interested. For example, you're smiling like this, so it indicates you're in a happy mood. So this is the gestures and facial expression used in non-verbal communication. This is all about types of communication. Next, we will discuss about barriers to effective communication. Friends, we are not able to communicate properly in some situation because the barriers which stucks our sharing and understanding information. There are many types of barriers, but among them, let me discuss some few things among the barriers to effective communication. Now, see that friends, so there are 6 barriers: language barrier, environmental barrier, psychological barrier, culture barrier, gender barrier and physical barrier. Let us discuss each one of them clearly. And first one, language barrier. What do you mean by language barrier? Inability to converse in a language that is known to the both sender and receiver is said to be the language barrier. For example, if you are using inappropriate words in any language while you are conversing or writing to others, it leads to misunderstanding. For example, taking a person who came from America, he will know only when coming to, for example, if we are Indians, we know only Hindi. Then what will happen? They both of want to communicate each other or interact each other. What will happen? Then the language should be a barrier in communication. So they are not able to communicate properly. This is called language barrier. And second one, environmental barrier. What do you mean by environmental barrier? Noise or disturbance in the surrounding makes your communication difficult. So then what will happen when the sender sends message to you, then it not reaches to the receiver because the medium here, the noise and disturbance, See friends, in the slide there are many crowd of people are there. So if one of them want to convey a message to other person, if it is possible? No, because there are a lot of disturbance and crowd of people making noise. So this is called environmental barrier. And next one, psychological barrier. Psychological barrier is described as the cause of disordered communication because human psychological problem. Psychological barrier deals with the minds of the receiver and the sender. So it totally describes about the states of mind of both receiver and sender. For example, taking an example, lack of attention. So see the slide friends, the both of people sitting in a sad mood. They are not interested in a particular issue. So they are sitting without any interest. So what doesn't it mean? So they are not able to communicate with the other person. For example, we all are use the word body present and mind absent in our classes. Usually teacher uses these words in our classes. So that is also one type of barrier to the communication. So you are not putting proper concentration on the lesson. So it is also a barrier to communication. And next one, cultural barrier. The world is made up of diverse culture. In culture barrier, it includes age, education, gender, social status, health, religion, belief. All this included in culture barrier. Taking an example, so you are seeing the slide, there are many people, many diverse culture you are seeing. For example, one of them want to communicate with us, then what will happen if we encode our message in our customs, in our culture customs, then when the other person receive, he or she will decode it in their custom styles, then what will happen? Misunderstanding between us. So at that particular instance, communication works to fail, and culture is a barrier to the communication. And next one, gender barrier. Before going to gender barrier explanation, let me tell you one thing friends. Do you know friends, girls having twice vocabulary than boys. So at the age of 3, girl can speak earlier than boys. So that's why all the girls speak frequently and they will used to talk always. So girls always in a first when they communicate each other. Now come to gender barrier. Gender barrier nothing but it is described as the mental condition of men and women. So in gender barrier, women and men have different thinking levels and different communication skills. So in between them, sometimes they misunderstood each other because of their communication. They delivered message something in a wrong way. So they will understand in a wrong way. At that particular instant, gender becomes a barrier to the communication. So for example, we usually see in our homes, our fathers, our mothers or other neighborhoods always want to fight each other because of this misunderstanding of communication. So this is all about gender barrier. And next one, physical barrier. Physical barrier nothing but obstacle that stuck the message to receive the intent recipient outside of the place or beyond the concern of the person. See the slide friends, there are many people standing here and another person is standing out another side of this wall. So then he want to convey a message to their friends. It is possible friends? No, because the wall is obstacle there. So the medium stops there. The communication does not work there. So this is called physical barrier. Now, so this is all about physical barrier. Now let us discuss about listening. Do you know friends, in communication listening plays an important role, and a good listener is always a good communicator. So why listening is important? Listening plays important role in communication, but why it is needed? So if you listen in a careful manner, you can able to answer anything. Friends, look at the pie chart I have given. Total communication process. So writing 9% and speaking 30% and listening 45% and reading 18%. So here you are looking the pie chart now friends. So here this is, I described that the total communication process. In this total communication process, 45% is listening. So in this way we can understand listening is very important in communication. So friends, now I am going to tell you the difference between hearing and listening. So do you know friends the difference between hearing and listening? Now I will tell you. Hearing means sense that allows to perceive sound, only physical act. It is a way of perception of sound waves. For example, taking an example, if you are walking in a road, then vehicle sounds came. Then what will you do? If you hear or listen that, you just hear and move aside. You are doing that physical work only at that particular time and you move aside. So this is called hearing. And listening. Listening means the mental process that requires concentration on sound waves and derive meaning from it and responding to it. For example, friends, I am speaking here. Whether you are hearing or listening, you are listening, because here what I am saying, you are deriving meaning from my conversation, my explanation, and you are understanding and you are putting information in your mind. So this is called listening. So I hope you understood the difference between listening and hearing, friends. Let me move to what is effective listening. What do you mean by effective listening? Effective listening is put entire concentration and commitment and focused on what the speaker is saying and understand that message and the expressive context what the person is saying. In effective listening plays an important role in communication. Do you know, friends, an effective listener always an effective communicator, because they will understand the mindset of people and they know what is the people are really interested in, and they can communicate with each other with a lot of concentration. So this is about effective listening. And next one, techniques of effective listening. What are the techniques of effective listening? Be attentive listener. Friends, we observe that in our classrooms we always distract for easily, for making noise, for small noises and a passerby or cheeping sounds of birds. This makes us lose our concentration, but we should not like that, friends. Be attentive listener. We should concentrate on the topic what the madam or sir teaching us. And next one, and have an open-minded. Friends, have an open-minded. We should understand and we should not prejudice. Prejudice nothing but forming an opinion before confronting the situation. It is being judgmental before verifying facts. So you should not do like this. So first you understand the topic, and next one, take notes. Friends, it makes you more alert and focus on message what the speaker is saying to you. And next one, avoiding interpreting. Friends, most of the listeners are habituated to interrupt the speaker always. It is due to their over enthusiasm or impatience. So don't be like that. Listen what they are saying completely from beginning to ending. So don't interrupt in between the speaker, because if you interrupt in between while the speaker is speaking, then they will divert something they want to convey us. But if you interrupt in between that, they will forget that and they will go to another topic. We will miss an important information there. So don't interrupt to any speaker while they are speaking. And next one, listen with respect. So we should listen to understand, not to judge. First we understand what they are saying. So don't give the judgment. Please understand what they are saying. And next one, control emotion and reactions. Friends, while you are listening something, please concentrate and control your emotion. Don't be defensive and angry. If you are angry or defensive, then what will happen? You are not able to listen carefully. You may lose your concentration. So don't be like that, friends. Control your emotions. And next, be empathic. Empathy nothing but first you understand your feelings and understand other feelings and emotion, and so then you can acknowledge the message and share information with your new understandings. So let us be empathic friends, and multitasking. Friends, you cannot do many works at a time. So please concentrate on one thing. If you are listening, listen at a time, but don't do many things at a time. So it may lead to unbalance your mind. You cannot concentrate on both things. You may lose both the things. So concentrate on one thing, friends. And next one, give positive feedback. It is the main thing, friends, in techniques of effective listening. Always remember that give positive feedback to the person, because every speaker needs a feedback, but they don't think that it is negative or positive. But as a listener, we should give positive feedback to them. And in techniques of effective listening, friends, please pay the attention of non-verbal actions of speaker, so it can give also some information to us. So this is all about effective listening, friends. And next, benefit of effective listening. What are the benefits? Build positive relations. So we can build positive relation when we listen with very effectively. And second one, avoid conflicts. Yeah, friends, it is true. If you listen very well, if we have any conflict between us, we can resolve it and we can avoid conflicts. And next one, enhance confidence. We can increase our confidence level. For example, our teacher is teaching lesson in your class. So if you listen in very effectively, then you can understand all the things and you get confidence. If madam asks any question, I can able to answer. So you can enhance your confidence. And next one, gain respect. You can gain the respect. For example, if madam telling something, if you are listening very effectively, then you gain respect. The students is listening very carefully and she is deriving meaning from it and he is understanding the topic very well. So you can gain respect. And last one, friends, build personality. You can build your personality. You can be a good leader also if you listen effectively. And for another example, friends, for benefits of effective listening, if you listen properly, everything you can get easily in your mind. So listening plays an important role in communication, as I said at the beginning. And for effective listening, the mind should be open. The mind like a parachute. It is function only when it opens. So be an effective listener, friends. And next one. So let me conclude my topics. So before going to conclude my topic, let us recall what I said from the beginning. We discussed about communication, process of communication, types of communication, barriers, effective listening, hearing and listening differences, and benefits of effective listening. So these are the things we discussed in this session, friends. I think you understood all the topics. And let me conclude my topic. Communication work for those who work at it. Is it correct, friends? Because we should work towards communication. Start communication in your mother tongue by making an eye contact, body language. And next one, the biggest communication problem is we do not listen to understand. We listen to replay. So this is the biggest fault, friends. First, we should understand. We should not over enthusiastic to give replay. First, we should understand the thing. We should understand in a communication. Then you can be a more effective communicator. And next one, good communication is bridge between confusion and clarity. It is clear. If you are a good communicator, if you listen properly, you can get clarity. If you are not listen properly, what will happen, friends? You may get confusion. Whether they said that or this, so you may get confusion. And communication begins with connection. Yes, friends, if you communicate with each other, you can build a positive relationship. Lastly, friends, I want to tell you on quote, without positive thinking, success is called luck. With positive thinking, success is called achievement. Luck is not in your hands, but achievement in your hand. So friends, spread the positive vibes and start communication in English, whether it is right or wrong. Start communication in English. Try to ensure that make body language and facial expression, gestures and postures. Thank you, friends, and thank you to the entire team of Gurukulam, and especially our beloved Secretary Sir and R.S. Praveen Kumar Sir and Principal Sir of our college, Surender Sir. and my mentor teacher Kavita madam, and especially I thank the TSAT whole the team because to given a wonderful opportunity to me and to spare a wonderful valuable time to me. Thank you for giving this opportunity to all.
కరెంట్ అఫైర్స్ 2020 డిసెంబర్ అంతర్జాతీయం